ticket punched means that you know that you're in. Like when a team, like Hofstra. Hofstra wins its tournament last night. So Hofstra's going to the NCAA tournament. And how do we say it with Hofstra? Hofstra has its ticket punched for the NCAA tournament. By the way, we'll have Speedy Claxton, the head coach of Hofstra, on at 1:45 to talk about that. First time in a quarter of a century that they're going to go to the NCAA tournament. But I digress. Ticket punched is widely accepted as we know that we don't have to win, we're in. So, David Cohn always told me, and he said it on the air, he said it on ESPN, the best advice he gives to people is if you mess up, just tell the truth. Come out and say the truth. It'll blow over. But if you're going to try to obfuscate and you're going to try to say I misspoke. But by saying you misspoke, then you knew that you had to win the game and you didn't run out your A lineup. So you either are not telling the truth about misspeaking or you're not quite getting it. That's not the time to rest Cal Raleigh, guy who hit 60 home runs. It's not the time to rest Harper. Not the time to rest Bregman. If you needed to win that game, you play your best team. And boy, is the United States lucky. Because they were down 8-0 and they scratched and clawed their way to get 6 runs. So the run differential thing became a little bit more palatable for today's game. Because if they had lost 8-0, it would be dire straits they'd be in. So Pete Crow Armstrong played a big role in this by hitting those 2 home runs. Gunnar Henderson's home run as well. All of that turns out fine for them. Turns out fine. But I think that sometime during the game, somebody whispered in the ear of DeRosa, you got to win this game, or you got to score more runs. Because I think during that game, it was articulated to him, we do not have our ticket punched. We could actually lose and not get to the quarterfinals. And for something that's sold and such a big deal, and this is like so important to the players, that whoever articulated to DeRosa, I'm sure he didn't come up with the premise that they have their ticket punched. Somebody told them. And maybe he doesn't want to throw them under the bus. Somebody told him. Somebody gave him bad information. It's an awful, awful look for a tournament that is supposed to be so important that you're pulling players away from their major league teams for up to 2 weeks, and then you don't even know whether you're in or out. Not a good look. It's not a good look. I'm sorry. It kind of cast a pall on the whole thing. If they don't get in, there's going to be hell to pay. It's funny because after the United States rolled to big victories in the first 3 games, people are talking about, DeRosa should be a manager in the big leagues. If they end up getting eliminated and don't even go to the quarterfinals, he's not going to be a manager in the big leagues after this. And then to come out and say, I misspoke. He misspoke. That just doesn't make sense to me. It absolutely doesn't make sense, and it's kind of embarrassing. It's embarrassing to the entire tournament. Goodness gracious, what a bad look. Now, another thing that's come out of this, when you're on top in the world, I mean, we could see it with Bam Adebayo. He scores 83 points. Now, no matter how he got there, he scored 83 points. All the levers that he used to get to 83 points, the foul shots, Miami fouling, stuff like that, every team could do it. Every team could do it. He did it. Miami did it, and he got 83 points. But now we want to cheapen that because that's just the way we are. That we are as a society. Let's root people to the top of the mountain, and then when they're there, let's take out their legs so they tumble down the mountain in an inglorious way, in a way that embarrasses them to no extent. That's what we do. So, and that's what the world is trying to do to Aaron Judge. So the United States, that was down 8-0. They closed it to 8-6. Bobby Witt is on the bases in the bottom of the 9th inning with 2 outs, and Aaron Judge is up. And Judge ends up striking out against Greg Weissert. Now, I don't know if these are anti-Yankee fans or there's some Yankee fans that are waiting to pounce because they can't be totally happy about everything. He doesn't come through. He never comes through. That's vintage Judge. Do you know why they were 3-0? People, do you know why they were 3-0? Because of the way he hit in the first 3 games, the amazing throws that he made in the outfield. I'm sorry, the greatest players in the world are going to make out, even in big spots. They just are. The greatest players in the world make out 7 times out of 10, every time, every year. And the greatest of all time, the select few that hit 400, they make out 6 out of 10 times. So because Aaron Judge struck out at the end of a game that should not have ever gotten to that point, now he can't get big hits in big moments. So the home run off Clase in 2024 that led them, one of the big hits that got them to the World Series, doesn't matter. The big home run that he hit against Toronto that spared them the embarrassment of possibly getting swept, doesn't matter. The fact that he hit 600 in the playoffs last year doesn't matter. So he strikes out in a game to end a game, and he can't come through in big situations. Again, you got to check yourself. It's a you issue. It's not a him issue. He's been nothing but great in this tournament so far. The greatest players in the world do not get hits every single time. They just don't. The greatest players in the world, like the guys that hit 340 in clutch situations, which he does, by the way, if you look at his stats, still make out 6.6% of the time, or 6.6 out of 10 times in those clutch situations. And those are the most clutch players in the game. So you want to jump him because he made the final out of a game that the United States shouldn't even have been thinking about losing. But it was mismanaged. It was misinterpreted, whatever the tie-breaking rules are. And it's not that difficult to misinterpret these stupid rules. It's convoluted. There's no way to make sense of it easily. Somebody messed up. DeRosa messed up, said it on MLB Network. And now, I'm a fan of MLB Network, have been for years. I think it's a great arm for Major League Baseball. But they took that clip off the network where DeRosa said, well, I know we have our ticket punched. And then after a huge outcry on social media, suddenly it reappeared. But they took it off to spare their guy, who's part of their morning show, the embarrassment. Now, here's the deal, though. If he came out today and said he misspoke, why is it embarrassing? It's embarrassing only if he thought the ticket was punched. That's the only way it's embarrassing. And you want to jump on Judge, right? Do you know that Ohtani in the Japanese game against Czechia yesterday, he struck out against an electrician from Czechia to end the game? The great Ohtani. It's amazing. Ohtani gave up that 3-run home run as a pitcher in the 7th game of the World Series. Never, ever hear anything about Ohtani. Ever. That he doesn't come through in the clutch. Ever. And I'm sure he makes big outs in big situations. And he comes through in the clutch, too, just like Judge. But Ohtani is the sainted one. Judge is the one that everybody wants to jump. Doesn't make sense for me. I could see if he was a bad guy. Not a bad guy. I could see if he was a jerk. Not a jerk. I could see if he was disliked throughout Major League Baseball. He's loved throughout Major League Baseball. But he's the guy that has his face in the crosshairs. He's the guy. I don't know why. I wish I could tell you. I really wish I could make sense of it for you, but it doesn't make sense to me. So I'm not quite sure what's going on and why. Why he is the guy that everybody wants to bring down. And people lionize Ohtani. But Judge, let's pick out every wart or flaw that we see in him. Let's do that. As I've said, and I said this last week as well, we don't appreciate what we have. We just want to find the imperfection. So if you go to the Louvre, these people that are ripping Judge, if they go to the Louvre and they get a chance to go into the room where the Mona Lisa is hung, they're probably going, what a weird smile, man. I don't get it. That's you. It's a you issue. If you don't like Judge, you're not going to bring him down. He's going to the Hall of Fame. Whatever imperfection you might think that he has, he's going to the Hall of Fame first ballot. He's won 3 MVPs. He has the American League record for most home runs in a season. He's going to get to 500 home runs. So have at it. Have at it. Pick out all of his flaws. He wins, you lose. Because that's a you issue, as I said. 1-800-919-3776. And let's start off with Anthony in Atlanta. Anthony.
Hey, how you doing, Michael?
Good, How you doing?
Not too bad. Hey, Michael, long-time caller, long-time fan. You got me through COVID. I really appreciate it. But just wanted to – I'm from New York, live in Atlanta, and I just want to let you know I agree with everything you said. My girlfriend also agrees. She's got a great point of view how we shouldn't be pushing that towards the kids of the future. But it's crazy. I'm at work, I work night shift, and everyone talking last night is if they had tickets, they're going to ban. They're talking about banning going to the game down here. So I just wanted to call in and let you know about that.
Because they stopped they stopped the really?
Yeah, they stopped the Magic, yeah. And, I heard a point of view last night that didn't make no sense. That, they'll push Pride Week, but, they push shows. But you know how people are ignorant. But just wanted to call in and let you know I support you. I agree with you, and thank you very much.
Thank you. So Anthony tells Ray he's going to talk about the WBC and doesn't say one word about it. Let's go to John and Chatham. John.
Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Good, John. How are you?
Yeah. I want to talk about the WBC, but DeRosa is the manager, I think, because he's a nice guy and everyone likes him. Not because he's a great manager. I mean, if he's the biggest jerk in the world, I don't care. If he's a good manager, that's fine. Look at Popovich in the NBA. He was a creep, but he was a great coach, and everyone cared.
Here's the problem,
but anyway,
John. I'll let you finish, but here's the problem. They can't get the best managers in baseball because no organization will allow a manager to leave spring training to coach the WBC. So it's got to be somebody that's out of the game right now, and that's Mark DeRosa.
Right. And that's what my question is, maybe does this make any sense? Instead of having the tournament now where the players are so limited, how about in the MLB All-Star game, you break for 2 weeks instead of one, and who's ever elected to the All-Star game is the United States representative, and they play then.
Well, I mean, John, what I've been saying the last couple of weeks, I like the WBC. I don't like the timing of it. So, I mean, I've heard 3 different ways that you could do it. You could do it now. You could do it after the World Series, which I think is not good because people have broken down their game. And the people that are in the World Series might not be able to play because they'll be exhausted playing a month longer than everybody else. I think the time to have it would be at the All-Star break. And it shouldn't be, no way should it be fan voting or anything like that. Every 3 years, the All-Star break expands to 2 weeks. Players would love it that aren't playing in the WBC. They'd have 2 weeks off, kind of what the NHL does for the Olympics. And go do your thing. Play the WBC tournament in the middle of the season. People are stretched out. People are used to playing high-intensity games. Have it then. But the problem being, they're going to have to do that if they want to participate. All the major league players want to participate in the 2028 Olympics in L.A. because baseball is going to be a part of those Olympics. They're going to have to do that too. And baseball does not want to, sit there and take a 2-week break and lose 2 weekends of ticket sales. And it's not like they're going to cut the season short that year. They're going to have to play those games. They're either going to have to start playing regular season games at the middle of March, or take it into the middle of October. Then they don't give away money. That's why it makes me laugh when you hear Steve Kerr, the head coach of Golden State, say, we've got to cut our season down to 70 with the pace and the spacing and stuff like that. We can't keep guys out. Nonsense. The players are going to give up 1/8 of their salary? Are they? Are the owners going to give up 1/8 of all the national television money? No, they're not. Figure out a different way. And you know what the best way to do it? If you're the NBA, start your season earlier. Eliminate back-to-backs. Start your season at the beginning of October. That's what you should do. But cutting the season to 70 games, well, no, it's not going to happen. It's pie-in-the-sky nonsense. It doesn't make sense that a guy that's smart like Steve Kerr would bring that up. And I guarantee you one thing, everybody. If you cut the game to 70, there'd still be load management. There would still be load management. Players would still miss games, even though they're not terribly injured, just for rest. That's what would happen. That's what would happen. So even if it was 70, we'd have the same issues, and we'd have the same quote-unquote injuries. So that is not the be-all, end-all. Sorry, I don't sign off on that, Steve Kerr. Danny in Chicago. Danny, what's up?
Hey, Mike. Thanks for having me on. What's happening?
You got it, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Question for you, and I'm curious. To give the context, I didn't see the entire WBC game last night. Turned it on halfway through, and it was like, what the heck was going on? Curious to know your thoughts. Did you think, was Team Italy, were they aware of DeRosa's comment, DeRosa's statement, hey, we have their ticket punched, and did it make them play harder? Did it make them play extra, leading to the shellacking we saw last night? Curious to know your thoughts if you heard anything. Thank you.
I don't know if they saw that. I mean, it was on MLB Network. Most major league clubhouses have MLB Network on in the clubhouse. But, the game was at 9 o'clock yesterday. And I'm sure guys were sleeping when DeRosa was on the MLB Network at 9:30 in the morning Eastern time. So I don't know if that was a motivation. I mean, the motivation is you win and there's a chance that you can advance and defy all the odds. I mean, me and Jack Curry interviewed Cervelli and Jorge Posada on the hot stove on Yes, and he said, we're going to be a good team, and we are going to shock the world. I don't think they needed DeRosa to say that the ticket was punched as motivate, because it doesn't motivate them. He wasn't denigrating Italy. He was saying that he thought that after winning the first 3 games that they were in. Didn't mean that they didn't think that there was any chance they were going to lose to Italy. So I would say no. I don't think that was a motivation at all, because I don't think it's true. Another thing that's funny is that you have a situation. A lot of people are saying after the USA won its 3rd game, right? They all stayed in the clubhouse late into the night, like until 12:30 in the morning. And they all are sitting in a circle and they're just talking baseball and telling stories, which is the way baseball used to be. There was that bonding time. Now people, boom, they're out of the clubhouse in a moment. But they all sat there, made the buses wait. And some people say, well, that's why they lost. They got onto a bus at 12:30. I'm sure the hotel was a half hour away from Dakin Park. At the worst, would they go to bed at 2:30? The game was at 9 in the evening. You're telling me that's why they lost? No, they lost because they didn't run their best lineup out there, because the manager was told by somebody that they had a spot clinched. Otherwise, it's unbelievable malpractice for him to not play Buxton, to not play Harper, to not play Bregman. It's ridiculous. That's why they lost. That's why they lost. Not because they stayed late talking baseball. It's not like they were doing bad things in the club. They might have been slugging beers down. I just love when people just automatically interpret, if a guy is out late at night before a game, and they go, oh, that's it. Oh, that's the reason. Really? That's the way you look at it. So let's say that you didn't go out, right? But when you went back to the hotel, at the allotted time of 10 o'clock in the evening, 11 in the evening, and you ordered up, 5, 6 ladies of the evening to spend the evening with you in the hotel, and you didn't get any sleep at all. But the fact that they weren't out, well, then they were going to be. You don't know what goes on behind the scenes, so stop trying to interpret it and fit your narrative. It's silly. It makes you look silly too. Oh, he was out late at night. Oh, they were out till 12:30 talking in the clubhouse. Oh, my goodness, how awful. Time now for the tournament update brought to you by Schweppes. Hofstra ended a 25-year tournament drought with a 75-69 victory over Monmouth to win the CAA. The Big East tournament starts at Madison Square Garden today with Butler playing Providence at 4 p.m., Marquette playing Xavier at 6:30 p.m., and DePaul playing Georgetown at 9 p.m. That's the tournament update presented by Schweppes. College Hoops' biggest stage is here. Celebrate with Schweppes at ShopRite, 1121 Jerusalem Avenue in Uniondale, and meet former All-Americans Charles Smith and Walter Berry from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Friday, March 13th. While already on the air yesterday, it broke that Geno Smith was being traded to the Jets. So a second go-round with the green and white. And I'm just curious. A lot of people say, hey, it's the best that they could do, and Geno's actually pretty good. Well, I wanted to get Dan Orlovsky on to break it down for me. How good is he? Why has he had 2 bad seasons? Why has he thrown so many interceptions? And is this a good get for the Jets? Better Dan Orlovsky, who breaks down tape, can talk to us about it than all of us blathering, aimlessly about it. So Dan Orlovsky will join us in just a moment right here on the K Show, ESPN New York.
1 in every 6 men is likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer in his lifetime. That's why New York Presbyterian wants to remind men over 50 to book a prostate cancer screening. A simple blood test is all it takes. It could save your life. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester at locations near you. Schedule your annual prostate cancer screening today at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
The NBA moves fast, and the stars move faster. With DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, you're never a step behind. DraftKings keeps pace with every play, offering industry-leading live betting, dynamic odds that shift as the game unfolds, and more open markets more often. They're live when others aren't, so you're always in the game when it matters most. Get in on the action with live player props as the most exciting performances unfold in real time. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WHSQ. That's code WHSQ. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problems gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply.
Monkey Sports, built by players for players, is your one-stop shop for hockey, baseball, lacrosse, and more. Find top-name equipment and expert in-store services like sharpening, break-ins, and relacing. Shop in-store at Monkey Sports in Farmingdale or Woodbridge, or online for all the top brands. Whatever your sports, Monkey Sports gets you game ready fast. Monkey Sports, where athletes shop.
New York Knicks fans, here's a total slam dunk. For a limited time, get Verizon Fios and a line of mobile for just $64.99 a month. Get Fios 300 megabit per second for $20 a month. And unlimited welcome for $45 a month plus taxes and fees when you bring your own phone. Visit a Verizon store today to learn more. For new Fios internet and mobile customers, discounts applied over 36 months. Mobile and home discount enrollment required. Plan prices require auto pay. Additional terms apply. For welcome unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic in times of congestion.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Progressive presents ways to save money that aren't bundling your home and auto insurance with Progressive.
I can't believe the deal we got on these seats for the game.
Wow, they must be pretty high up here. I think my ears just popped.
Yeah, here, put this on.
Is that an oxygen mask?
An official team oxygen mask.
Well, I can kind of see the field.
Good, your senses are still sharp. You're going to need them for phase 2 of the ascent.
Don't save money by sitting in the nosebleeds. You could save hundreds by switching to Progressive. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Rich Eisen here. For small businesses, every hire counts, and so does your time. Hiring can quickly become overwhelming, from sorting applications to figuring out who's truly qualified. That's where LinkedIn Hiring Pro helps. It streamlines the process so you can focus on connecting with the right candidates, not managing the noise. Hire right the first time. Post your job and get $100 off towards your job post at linkedin.com/Eisen. That's linkedin.com/Eisen. Terms and conditions apply.
We all knew the involvement of Giants co-owner Steve Tisch being mentioned many, many times in unflattering ways in the Epstein files, and we wondered what the NFL was going to do. Well, Adam Schefter tweeted out that the Giants co-owners Steve, Lori, and Jonathan Tisch are requesting to transfer their stakes in the team to their children's trust, according to an NFL memo obtained by Seth Wickersham and Jordan Ronan. So they know what's coming down, or what would come down. So this saves face for them, also saves Roger Goodell the uncomfortable thing of making them divest of their shares in the Giants, and now it just moves down to their children, and they will no longer be owners of the team if this transfer does take place. So it does tell you that they were probably whispered to by Goodell or one of his people, this is not going to go well if you hold on to these shares, so might be a good idea for you to do this, and that way we don't have to do that. Now let's get back to on the football field. While we were on the air yesterday, Geno Smith was traded to the Jets. Not official yet till the league year begins, and I didn't like it right away because, it doesn't move the needle for me. Most Jet fans went nuts about it. I don't think I went nuts about it. I just said that's the best you could do. But then I said, I got to talk to Dan Orlovsky, so he'll set me straight on exactly what Geno Smith can do, why he's had trouble the last couple of years, and so many interceptions. So Dan was nice enough to join us today. Dan, how you doing?
Michael, I'm good. How are you doing, bud?
I'm doing okay. So what did the Jets get in Geno Smith?
Yeah, they got an adult and they got a professional. I think that's the reality of where they are right now, is they got somebody who can just kind of be a quarterback at a starter level that will make them a competitive football team week in and week out. And this is the Band-Aid. This is not the long-term solution. Geno's been around the NFL for a long period of time. He's well-respected. He's had some really good moments. He has not played good football over the last 18 months or so. So, I don't have these highest expectations, but Michael, if we're just being honest, I think there's two different vantage points looking at this. If you are Eric Glenn and their general manager, Muji, you're trying to do everything you can to, win football games and show ownership improvement. If you are people that are Jets fans and or people on my side of the business that are looking at the reality, you're going, if you're the Jets, you want to have the number one pick in 2027. That's just what's best for them long term. And so you're hoping that Geno gives you a chance to be a competitive, respected football team without winning too much. That's the honesty.
But, that's the conundrum for the Jets, though, Dan, because if they end up with the number one pick, Aaron Glenn's fired.
I would, yes, because that's the trend of the NFL, but I that's why I said there's two different vantage points. If you're Aaron Glenn and their general manager, you're trying to win. I'm not telling everybody you want to win 15 games, but that would be great, right? You don't want to win 8 games and be 8-9, because you want the high pick. So I understand from the coach perspective and the players, they'll always try and win. But we all know we can be honest about the situation and say the best thing for the Jets is have the highest pick possible in 2027 when they have a bunch of first-round picks. And so I think that, you're trying to get a quarterback that gives you the best chance to be a competitive, respected football team while also not, trying to win 11 or 12 games by paying Malik Willis $30 million or something like that.
All right, so let's talk about, because you watch more film than anybody, what has gone wrong the last 18 months for Geno? Because the year before that, he actually had a very good year for Seattle. Then the last year was not good, and last year was really bad with Vegas. So what has gone wrong, and why all the interceptions?
Yeah, I think what happened at the final year in Seattle was you saw a quarterback that was very confident, and he made in 2023, he was phenomenal throwing the ball downfield and very accurate, and probably had as many impressive throws downfield as really any quarterback in the league. And I think in 24, there was a little bit of greedy attached to it, and there was a little bit of over-aggression attached to it because it had worked out in such his favor in 2023. And in 2024, he just caught a couple, I don't want to say a couple, but just, you're off on an inch there or an inch there on some of those throws that you made the year before. And the accuracy had kind of dipped in those high pivotal moments. And then last year, it was just a disaster in all parts in Las Vegas. Bad coaching, bad situation, bad offensive line, bad perimeter players, quarterback with expectation, trying to prove that he was going to try to fix everything or solve everything, and it just snowballed. And so I still think he's probably up the player that was a little bit more the median in between 2023 and 24 rather than the really a mess of a situation we saw in Vegas last year.
How different is he than the quarterback that started with the Jets in 2013?
Oh, he's much different. I mean, he's so much more experienced. He's so much more mature. He's so much more mechanically sound. You won't see Geno ride the waves of the ups and the downs. I think he'll be fine. I don't think that Geno's going to come in and, light the world on fire and all of a sudden the Jets are going to start 6-0 as a football team or whatnot. But he's, in relation to Justin, like I'll use just Justin as the comparison last year for the most part. Justin has exponential talent, but lacking this consistency. And there was, 2 or 3 series a game when you'd be like, man, that looks awesome. And then 4, 5, 6, 7 series a game that were just head-scratchingly frustrating. I think Geno's going to just bring much more of a consistency to their offense, and he's a much, much better player over the course of 4 quarters or, 2-3 months of a season than Justin has been through the majority of his career.
All right, we're talking with Dan Orlovsky here on the Michael K. Show. There's still a chance that the Jets could sign Carson Wentz as the backup. Do you think Wentz would be better for them starting than Geno?
I think you're 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other.
Mm-hmm.
Carson's probably a little bit more of a playmaker with where he is right now, but he's also been beat up, and he's had some moments last year for Minnesota that were good. I also think, Michael, if I'm being honest, the way that my brain looks at the situation is you're also trying to look for who might be your veteran backup, not as this year, but the following year when you do have a rookie quarterback, more than likely. And so I think you want, look at people that you can get into your building now that, that you get around your team, your players, your coaches, that when you do decide to go at that high draft pick in 2027 with that rookie quarterback, you have that veteran guy in place that's really the kind of the soft landing spot for that young quarterback. So if it's Carson Wentz as an addition, they're kind of, at least I would be looking for a person that's going to be there for maybe the first or second year of that rookie quarterback's, career in New York.
All right, final thing before I let you go. I'm not sure if you've done all the homework yet on Mendoza. Have you seen more in looking at some of the tape as you prepare for the draft? What do you think of Mendoza?
I've seen everything through the semifinal playoff game. He's really good in operating the RPO. He's unbelievably tough. He gets a lot of one-on-one man coverage throws, and a lot of those are down the field, either go routes or back shoulders. He hits those on a consistent basis. I think that, there's a lot of clean pockets he plays from. You don't see him get from 1 to 2 to 3 in a progression down the field often. He does a good job of going like, I'm going to take this shot downfield. No, it's not there. I check the ball down to the back in front. There are stretches, Michael, where he does nothing in games because he's not asked to do anything in games. So from what I've seen, tough, smart, accurate on certain throws that he does on a consistent basis. But there are some flaws to his game that I've been outspoken about. So I think he's a good player.
So if I can interpret, and you can correct me if I'm misinterpreting, he's not your prototypical first pick in the draft guy.
Not for me. I always am of the belief that the first pick of the draft has to have some uncoachable traits. And when I say uncoachable traits, there's a size element, a speed element, a twitchy element, eyes element of how quickly you can get through things, arm strength element, ball placement element that I see over a wave of throws. If you're asking me, is his ball placement outstanding on back shoulder fades and go routes? Yes. I just know that there's a lot more to throw in different types of routes and passes in the NFL. He doesn't do that a ton at Indiana. Not asked to do it a ton at Indiana. So I like I said, I think he's good. And I hear a lot of these Matt Ryan comparisons. I don't subscribe to that. Matt Ryan is, I think, significantly more twitchy and laterally athletic. Mendoza is pretty fast straight line, but he's not side-to-side twitchy. So, like I said, I think he's a good player, but not your traditional, wow, number one. No, not even close.
Great stuff, Dan. Thanks for carving out some time today. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you always.
All right, that's Dan Orlovsky. So good stuff, and he's being rational about Geno Smith. That they needed a quarterback. That's the one that's available. They didn't have to give up much. They just swapped a 6 for a 7. But the one thing that I would disagree with what Dan said, is it worth it getting Malik Willis and getting 11 wins? Yeah, I'd rather have that. And then you deal, he's still young enough. You get 11 wins with Malik Willis, then you've got your quarterback. And you could use those 3 first-round draft picks to, fill other holes. So I would definitely have gone that route. If you think you could get 11 wins with Malik Willis, go with Malik Willis rather than get 5 or 6 wins with Geno Smith. The Jets always seem to be in the position of wishing on a star. Maybe that star is Arch Manning. I'm not sure. I mean, Arch Manning was supposed to be lights out this year. He wasn't lights out. He got better as the year went on, but he wasn't lights out. Dante Moore didn't even come out of the draft. He could have been the second pick in the draft. Is he going to be the guy? We shall see. But, just wishing on the draft pick in next year's draft, you're just kicking the can down the road. And if you're Aaron Glenn, you're going to lose your job. You're going to end up losing your job. I don't know how that is anything that's, preferable to winning 11 games with Malik Willis. If you think Malik Willis is good enough to win 11 games, go get him. Pay the money. So it's $25 million. You had $73 million going in available, and you could restructure contracts and have more. If you thought that was the guy, get him. He's still young enough that he could be the quarterback. You don't have to worry about drafting a quarterback. Speedy Claxton, living the dream, coaching the team that he played for. Last time they made the NCAA tournament, he played for them. Now he's coaching them. With their win yesterday over Monmouth, they get the automatic bid. As Mark DeRosa would say, they punched their ticket to the NCAA tournament. We'll talk with Speedy in just a moment. But first, FanDuel is giving all customers a profit boost every single day through March 15th. From now till that final 68 is revealed, you're getting daily profit boosts for a chance at boosted winnings on your college basketball bets. Trust me, you don't want to miss a single day. Build the same game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout or try live betting and jump in after tip-off. Best of all, with FanDuel, you get paid instantly when you win. Just visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. 21 plus, physically present in New York, opt-in required, bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS, Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS, Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Be part of it isn't just a slogan. 2026 season tickets are on sale now, and this is your chance to join the tradition and legacy of the New York Yankees. Purchase a plan and enjoy the best seat locations, significant savings, and flexible payment options. Plans start at just 9 games. Log on to Yankees.com, call 212-YANKEES, or email seasontickets@yankees.com. For 2026 Yankees season tickets, email seasontickets@yankees.com today.
Adam Schefter here. It's tournament time, when only the most talented teams survive and advance. And whether you're cutting down the nets or cutting through resumes, one thing's clear. The best teams are built with the best people. If you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. Their smart matching technology finds qualified candidates fast. You can add screening questions to get the right applicants and even filter to see who's recently active. Score the best for your team with ZipRecruiter. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/sports. That's ZipRecruiter.com/sports.
Wendy here. If you're looking to add a star player to your financial roster, you should take a look at SoFi's personal loans. SoFi's got some amazing moves that would be a valued addition to any team, like low fixed rates when you consolidate your debt, no fees required, and as soon as same-day funding. View your rate at SoFi.com/roster to get started. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A. member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply at SoFi.com/roster. NMLS 696891.
Join ESPN New York for a huge rivalry night at the Calandras Italian Village in Caldwell, New Jersey. Play-by-play voice of the Devils, Don LaGreca.
Put a pitchfork in this one!
And the Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg Show are taking over for a special live broadcast and Devils versus Rangers watch party on Wednesday, March 18th. Join the guys starting at 3 p.m. for a special happy hour and broadcast. Then stick around for the 7 p.m. puck drop with big screens, great food, and the best fans in hockey all under one roof. Reservations are recommended. Brought to you by Calandras Italian Village.
Well, congratulations go out to Hofstra. They won the CAA tournament, beating Monmouth last night, and that means that they have punched their ticket to the big dance. They are part of the field of 68, and a lot of Hofstra alum who listen to this show are thrilled. Our program director, John Winthrop, is a Hofstra alum. Tom Bauer, who works on the show behind the glass, is a Hofstra alum, and they're all elated. So we want to bring in the head coach of Hofstra, and that's Speedy Claxton, and he joins us now. Coach, how you doing? Congrats.
Great, man. How's everything?
Everything is
Thank you
great.
for having me on.
Of course. So what's a bigger deal, getting in as a player or getting in as the head coach?
Oh, man. I mean, I think they equal each other, honestly. Love getting in as a player, and now being able to get in as a head coach. I don't know. It's the same, honestly, man. I'm just happy to be able to share this moment with all the Hofstra fans, the community, the alumni, everyone.
I ask you that because Joe Girardi, who won World Series as a player with the Yankees and then as a manager, he said that he enjoyed it as a manager more because you're responsible for everybody and you just feel great for everybody else. So that's why I threw that question out for you. And I know it's some heavy lifting for you to do this at Hofstra. What does it mean for the school and what does it mean for your program, Speedy?
Oh, it means everything. Hopefully it'll boost enrollment, but to hear our name get called on selection Sunday, it's a very, very, very special moment, man. Just for the community, like everybody's gonna be rooting for us. Hopefully they send us to Philly.
Why Philly? Why do you just so your people could travel?
You know, and really, really share that moment with us, man. Get the full experience.
Now, let me ask you this. Sunday, obviously, you'll find out where you're going, and it'll be on TV. Where will you guys watch it? Who's going to be there as well?
We're currently trying to figure all that out. I know when I was a player at Hofstra, we watched it in Hofstra USA. So that's what I recommended to my administration. So they're kind of working through that. So we'll see.
Now, Preston Edmeade is a kid from Long Island, so freshman, obviously a big part of your team. What does it mean to be part of the community and to be part of this and for you to have that kid on your team?
Yeah, it's special. You know, whenever you have a local guy be one of your key guys, the community backs him even more. So having Preston be from Deer Park, you know, everybody loves him. And I'm not surprised because he's a great kid. He's a hard worker. So I'm happy for the success that he's having.
Now, after he hits the overtime buzzer banker, the three-pointer to knock out Towson in the semis, are you thinking this could be special? I mean, we've got the mojo this year.
Well, I know it's going to be a special year, you know, from in the non-conference slate. Like, there was just something special about this team. And then last week, when I had my bi-weekly meeting with my athletic director, Rick Cole, and he was already pre-planning the celebration. He's like, all right, so when we win it, I'm going to need you to call this person, call that person. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, way to put some added pressure on me.
What does it mean to coach at your alma mater?
I mean, it's different. I could just say it's different, man. It means more. It's not just a job to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like this was something that I promised my athletic director that I was going to get done for him, the program, the university. So I'm just happy that I got it done.
Now, you played 7 years in the NBA. You won a championship with the Spurs. And I just want, while I have you on the phone, I want to ask you about, you know, Bam Adebayo scoring 83 points and the way he did it with all the free throws and they're fouling on purpose. What was your take on that, Speedy?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I was so caught up in what I had going on last night.
Right.
I really didn't see what happened with Bam. Some of my players came up to me and said that he had 83, but then they say he had 40 free throws. I'm like, oh, that's kind of crazy. Like 40, that's a lot of free throws for one person. That's a lot of free throws for a team.
You're
one
right.
person. So I don't know. I got to see the highlights, I guess.
And there are a lot of them, 83, so he's the second highest scorer ever after Wilt. Anyway, I wish you the best of luck moving forward. I hope you win a lot of games in the NCAA tournament. It's great for the area, and obviously congratulations to you personally. It must be really, really neat, Speedy.
Thanks, Michael.
You got it. That's Speedy Claxton. So Hofstra is going to the big dance. Now, in fairness, I said it's 25 years. They actually won in 2000, or no, let me get this straight. They qualified for the tournament in 2020 under Joe Mihalik, and Speedy was actually the assistant to Mihalik, but then the tournament was canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So even when they did get in, they didn't get in. So the last time they actually played a game in the NCAA tournament was 25 years ago. So really a nice moment for a local school. And, you know, I know how difficult it is if you're not St. John's to make it in New York. And for him to do this in that conference, to get it done, get the automatic bid, it's awesome. I see it with Fordham, right? Fordham is a school with a lot of capability, a lot of things going for it, and they can't even smell the NCAA tournament. Can't even smell it. I mean, for years now, they can't smell it. And to Fordham alum, it's frustrating. So when you look at Hofstra and say, well, they've been to the tournament just 2 times in 25 years, Fordham goes, hold my beer. It's not easy. It's not easy if you're not a powerhouse, if you don't have, you know, big-time alumni that are willing to contribute. You gotta work on the margins. And Speedy has obviously done that, recruited well, locally with the kid Preston Edmead, and hit the big shot against Towson, and then gets the win yesterday. So good stuff. Good stuff. It's a good local story. So I'm glad that we could highlight it, and I only wish the best for them, the entire school, and congratulations to them all. Hey, Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. 6:30 p.m., the Yankees play the Blue Jays at Steinbrenner Field in spring training action. And at 9 p.m., the Knicks are in Utah to play the Jazz. They'll try to right the ship. Coverage begins at 8:30 p.m. That'll be right here on 880 ESPN. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew. Try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glass up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Now I'm going to talk more about the Adebayo 83 points, what it means. Should it be looked down upon the way they got it? We're going to have our good buddy Frank Isola on for a quick hit at the top of the hour to give his take, because reading his tweets, he doesn't think it should be celebrated as much as people are celebrating it. I want to remind everybody, get ready, New York soccer fans. New York City FC back at Yankee Stadium for a massive showdown against Inter Miami on Sunday, March 22nd, with kickoff set for 1 p.m. You don't want to miss this huge matchup. Be there when the boys in blue take the field against Miami. For your chance to be there in person, enter now at ESPNNewYork.com or through the ESPN New York app. Tickets are available now at Ticketmaster.com/NYCFC. That's right. Coming up, it's Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg at 3 o'clock. But just in a moment, it's going to be the man you love, Frank Isola from the Yes Network. He'll talk about the Adebayo 83 when we come back right here on ESPN New York.
25 a month, 5 whole years. Same sweet number in your ears. Check it in a year, check it in 5. This ain't optimum 5, but price is still alive. 25 a month, 5 whole years. Same sweet number in your ears. Get Optimum famously fast fiber internet. Optimum.com/25 for 5. Or call 8884-OPTIMUM. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
50 years from now, will jeans be wide or skinny? Will email still exist? Will guac still be extra? One thing is certain. If you won the new Millionaire for Life from the New Jersey Lottery today, you'd still be getting $1 million every year for life. That's enough money to say, bring it on, the future. I will have that guacamole at any price.
Play the new Millionaire for Life today. Anything can happen in Jersey. Must be 18 or older to buy a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
More people trust their hearts to New York Presbyterian than any other hospital in New York. It's because New York Presbyterian has the most experienced cardiovascular doctors, treating a full range of heart conditions, from heart failure to valve repair, with the most advanced treatments. Find a doctor at nyp.org/heart. New York Presbyterian. New York Presbyterian Hospital, based on U.S. News & World Report 2025 to 2026 cardiology, heart, and vascular surgery rankings.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood Prediction Markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Hey, this is Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson for 3.
And this is your home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Monkey Sports, built by players for players, is your one-stop shop for hockey, baseball, lacrosse, and more. Find top-name equipment and expert in-store services like sharpening, break-ins, and relacing. Shop in-store at Monkey Sports in Farmingdale or Woodbridge, or online for all the top brands. Whatever your sports, Monkey Sports gets you game ready fast. Monkey Sports, where athletes shop.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program may only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it could end your debt nightmare and save you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. For free information and to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, simply go online and visit DRA.com or call 800-433-8909. 800-433-8909. Again, that's 800-433-8909.
All right, so Bam Adebayo, 83 points. He now sits behind Wilt Chamberlain for the most points scored in the game, passing Kobe Bryant's 81. And just by reading his tweets, doesn't seem like my good buddy Frank Isola from the Yes Network and from SiriusXM is all that impressed. So I wanted to get him on just to talk about it. Frank, how you doing?
Michael, how are you?
I'm doing great. So what do you think about this 83?
I thought the 31 in the first quarter was unbelievable. That's ridiculous that he's able to do that. Congratulations. I thought the 42 by halftime, so that's one more than his career high, was incredibly impressive. 62 after three quarters, that gives him the franchise record. LeBron had 61 when he played for the Miami Heat. That's great. I thought the last 5 minutes of the game were a joke, what was happening. You know, Miami intentionally fouling to get the ball back, Miami intentionally missing free throws, him being doubled and triple teamed, shooting three-pointers. You know, they would get the ball back. There was one possession with, I think, 2:20 to go. He misses a three with three guys on him. The Heat get the rebound. They should get the rebound because it's 2-on-4 at that point. And they throw it right back at him, and he just launches another three with three guys on him, doesn't come close to making it. So I thought the last 5 minutes, especially for an organization like the Heat, which, as you know, Michael, you've heard the expression Heat culture, they try to tell you that they do things the right way. They put Heat culture on their jersey. They put their credo on the court. This is going about it the right way. I can't for the life of me believe that Pat Riley, who within the last couple of weeks was in L.A. to get a statue from the Lakers and, you know, was admonishing some of his ex-players for not wearing a tie to his ceremony, thought that the final 5 minutes of the game, was respecting the game and doing the right thing.
So from the NBA people that you spoke to today and on your show as well on SiriusXM, what's the overall feeling? Do they feel like you do, or they want to celebrate that he had 83?
Most of the people that I spoke to are disgusted by, and it's people that aren't going to go on social media, aren't going to voice their opinion because it's not going to be worth it for them to do it. And I think a lot of people look at the 43 free throws. So, all right, so career high for Michael, Jordan, and Kobe from the free throw line in their careers, regular season is 27. Kobe, when he scored the 81, went to the free throw line 20 times. So Bam Adebayo went 23 more times to score 2 more points. So this is kind of a byproduct of everything happening in the NBA. Number one, the tanking thing is out of control. Basketball in March is crazy in the NBA because that's when they try to squeeze in all these games. For example, the Nets play 17 games in March. In December, they played 11. February, they played 12. Now they're playing 17. So you got all these teams that are tanking. They're playing a lot of games. That's part of it. And to be fair, and I like a lot of the referees, but this crew of referees that they have now, or the crop of referees, isn't as good as they once were. How are you calling that many fouls? And if you look at some of the plays, he wasn't really being fouled. They sent the guy to the free throw line 43 times. So it's a byproduct of everything. It's a losing team that, let's face it, is okay with losing. It's a lot of bad calls. It's basketball in March. And I'll tell you, like, Mike, if you look at the schedule from yesterday, there were 11 games. 4 of them were were two teams that want to win and want to be in the playoffs and want to get good playoff seeding. The other 7 games, you had either one team or 2 teams that were okay with losing. That's a problem.
Well, I think the one thing that's been undersold, Frank, you know, we all hate tanking. We all hate teams just giving away seasons. But I think it also impacts playoffs because there are teams that are playing games against teams that don't care about winning, and they're looking for playoff seeding. It's an abomination the NBA has to deal with.
And, you know, if you go back to October, November, there were a lot of guys scoring 50. I think, Larry Markkinen was one of them. And if you look at a lot of these high-scoring games, just look at the free throws. A lot of the scoring is being inflated by the amount of times guys are going to the free throw line. The game, I did the Nets game last night on the S Network against the Pistons, and the Pistons have a great team. Cade Cunningham is ridiculous how good he is. And Jalen Duren is like a mini Karl Malone out there. Well, I shouldn't say mini. He's about the same size as him. They're really good. But there were so many foul calls, so many stoppages in the game. It's just the way the game is officiated now. It's just so much different. There's too many free throws. Bam Adebayo, for his career, averages 4.8 free throws a game. He took 43. His career high before last night in points was 41. He doubled it, more than doubled it. Like, there's not something wrong. I understand you could say, well, it's a one-off, but it's a bit much. And then for the Miami Heat to keep him in there, especially, the Wizards don't go around talking about Wizards culture. It's the Heat that talk about their culture, how they do things the right way. There's no way that Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley, if they're being honest, think that they handle things the right way in the last 5 minutes.
And now, Frank, the way I look at it, the template has been laid out for everybody. If you want to get your player to 90 points, if you want to get to 100 points, you could see how it could be done now.
Mike, you are 100% right. I said last night, I think within the next 10 days, there will be a player that will go for over 60. Because there's so many of these teams, that are okay with getting beaten up on. And if you're going to go to the free throw line, again, 43 times. You know that, what was his number last night? Was it 36 or 43 or 38 or 43, whatever it was? The Charlotte game last night, Charlotte had the same amount of free throw attempts and free throws made. Well, I forget who Charlotte played at the top of my head. But that was the two teams combined had that.
Right, as a team.
Yeah, the two teams combined, 43.
Oh. And you know what's also, you bring up a good point about the Heat culture. They supposedly do things the right way. And there are other teams that don't have that culture, and they might just say, oh hold my beer, watch what I get my player. It's going to happen again.
Yeah.
I think Adam Silver has a lot of problems on his hands.
I agree with you. And I think, the other part of it is, there's so much of this, load management, minutes restriction. They're keeping this guy in a blowout game. But this is a big issue that the league has. And I think a lot of the players will go for it now because I think Adam Silver realizes this is a major problem. You can't have a sport where you're incentivized to lose. And right now, there are just too many teams. So if you look at the Western Conference playoff situation and the Eastern Conference, basically the top 10 teams are all set. Milwaukee's not going to catch Milwaukee. Milwaukee's not going to catch Charlotte. They're 5 games behind them.
Right.
And Portland is in 10th place. No one's going to catch them. So here we are with about, 17, 18 games to go. The 10 teams in both conferences are set. So those other teams, what are they all looking to do? The other 10? They're all looking to improve their odds of getting the number 1 pick. So you're going to see a lot of this happening between now and the end of the regular season.
And I'm going to tell you what, Frank, I know we're up against it. You have to leave us in a moment. But the stuff that's leaking out that they're thinking about doing to stop the tanking, I don't think it'll stop it at all. I don't think it's going to stop it at all. I mean, you have to do something really drastic. This stuff is not drastic.
No, there's a couple. You should talk to your boy Mike Medvin over at the Yes Network. He has I actually think that he has a really good way of kind of preventing tanking and dealing with the draft lottery. I do like the idea of if you get a top 3 pick one year, you can't get a top 3 pick the next year. Maybe the highest you can then finish is 4th. That might be a good way of doing it. Because remember, the whole thing about tanking, it was kind of being celebrated a decade ago with the Philadelphia 76ers. They even had a name for it. They called it the process.
Right.
And to be fair, if San Antonio is held up as another gold standard of organizations. They tanked to get David Robinson. They tanked to get Tim Duncan. Now, I'm not going to say they tanked to get Wembanyama. They did have guys hurt, and they weren't a really good team. But the lottery helped them get 3 franchise players. Philadelphia tanked last year, and they ended up moving up in the lottery, and they got DJ Edgecombe. So you can't. I understand they're a great. 15th. The 15th pick was Giannis. The 15th pick was Kawhi Leonard. Nikola Jokic was a second-round pick. So they're great players all over the draft. But, there have been teams that have tanked, and it's changed the direction of their franchise. It changed the direction of the Cleveland Cavaliers when they were able to get LeBron. There's no doubt about that. So that's why they have to come up with some kind of system that does not incentivize losing. Because, Mike, it's the only – I keep saying it – it's the only sports league in the world where this happens. It's not happening, Japanese baseball. It's not happening in Spain in their basketball. It just doesn't happen anywhere except in the NBA.
And it doesn't happen in baseball. I mean, you never have like Aaron Boone lose a 2-game set to the Red Sox. That was not a big deal. I mean, it's almost like what Mike Brown said the other day when they played OKC. It's not that big a deal if we win or lose. It's a big deal to your fans. It has to be a big deal to you. You're charging prices for it.
And that's why with a lot of these regular season games, like even the Knicks Oklahoma City game last week, which was a really good game. I know everyone was upset that they didn't call the third foul on Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. But it's so hard to, really take a lot away from some of these games. The Knicks didn't have Mitchell Robinson. They didn't have Miles Bridges. The OKC, went into the game without Jalen Williams, the kid from Santa Clara, not the other Jalen Williams. And Alex Caruso got hurt, and Isaiah Hartenstein got hurt.
Right.
So it just feels like these regular season games have to mean something. And then yesterday in San Antonio, and on my show that I do with Brian Scalabrine, we're building up the San Antonio Celtics game, and then the referee gives Jaylen Brown a second technical.
Yeah.
Why would you do in a league where Luka Doncic complains on every call, Jaylen Brown's getting kicked out of a big regular season game? What sense does that make?
I know you've got things to do. I thank you for popping on, Frank.
Thanks, Mike. Good talking to you.
You got it. That's Frank Isola. So he does not like what Adebayo did. I would have a bigger problem with it if it broke Wilt's mark. I mean, should we be going crazy because it's second place? All right, so he replaced Kobe as second place. The guy at the top is still Wilt Chamberlain with 100. And there's no video of that game against the Knicks that Wilt scored 100 in Philadelphia in Hershey. So we don't know how that game went either. We have no idea if they stat compiled to get him to 100. And there are certain things, we're manufacturing records now. Like there's such great praise for Mikal Bridges that he has this consecutive game streak going, right? Well, he played 30 seconds in the last game last year to keep it going. So is it legitimate? Again, I don't have as big a problem with the Adebayo stuff because it's just for second place. I have a big problem with, Bonds and McGuire and Sosa breaking hallowed records because, they did it with ill-gotten gains and they broke the record. I wouldn't have cared if they got to 59, but they got to 73. So that record is obliterated now. So if Adebayo yesterday got 103 points, that would really be problematic for me. The thing that makes this a little bit more problematic is this. As I said to Frank, you've now set the template. Teams are going to do it now. Because if a team like the Heat, which supposedly does everything right? If they do it, well, there are teams with reputations that don't match that. They're going to do it even more. They're going to get their guy off. And somebody, I never thought it would happen, somebody's going to break Wilt's record. And I don't think it's going to be within the confines of the game. I just don't. They're going to break Wilt's record, and it's going to be manufactured in a way as well. And then they'll hold up that little sheet of paper, and it says 101 or 102. And, as people say, nobody's going to know that Bam Adebayo had 43 free throws yesterday. 40 years from now. It's not going to be tainted. 43 years from now, it's not going to be tainted. They'll look at it, wow, he had 83 points, so he's the number 2 scorer. But I think that soon will be erased as well. So people shouldn't fret about it. It will be erased. Hey, see Don Hahn and Rosenberg live from the Irish Exit at Moynihan Train Hall. It's this Friday before the semifinal round of the Big East Tournament. Stop by before heading into the Garden or before your commute home. Don Hahn and Rosenberg live from the Irish Exit at Moynihan Train Hall starting at 3 p.m. this Friday, just steps away from Madison Square Garden and Penn Station. Brought to you by Schweppes Above the Rim Refreshment. Feel the madness and refresh your game with a Schweppes Seltzer or Schweppes Ginger Ale. And Sam Adams and Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea available at Bourbon and Branch and Taylor Pub. Must be 21 or older to purchase. Please drink responsibly. All right, let's get to some phone calls. 1-800-919-3776. Just wanted to make a point quickly about college basketball. So Syracuse decided after 3 really bad years to fire Adrian Autry as their head coach. Now, Syracuse has made the major mistake of leaving the Big East. Syracuse was made for the Big East. Made for it. and they left to go to the ACC for their football program, for the money, whatever the case may be, and it's destroyed their basketball program. And one other thing I'd like to say. How you liking Jim Boeheim now? Everybody used to jump on Jim Boeheim. He's not a good coach. With all the talent, he should have so many more championships. Every single year, that guy was competitive. That team was competitive. They would put a scare on anybody in the NCAA tournament. Every year. But we all looked at the warts. Oh, he's not a great game coach. He's not a great coach. Never gets out of his zone. How do you like him now? You appreciate him a little bit more now? Do you? Do you appreciate him a little more now? Who are they going to turn to now? Because that's not a destination anymore. It's just not. I mean, Jim Boeheim would get kids to go to Syracuse where there'd be 3 feet of snow during the college basketball season, and he'd get them to go, the best players. Pearl Washington, Carmelo Anthony, Derek Coleman, they all were there. Who are they getting now? And they're lost in the ACC. Lost. They're a Big East team. 1-800-919-3776. Steve in New Fairfield. Steve.
Hey, Mike. I'll be quick. I just wanted to bounce. A lot of interesting subjects. First of all, I laugh when Syracuse hit and BC struggled. Good for, they all exited early. They started the whole exodus. So I was a G-Town fan, and I'm one of those old guys that tells my kids about what the Big East was. So I laugh when they struggle. But with the Bam scoring, I mean, we see it on high school, and clown coaches. There was a girl I think scored 100 a couple of weeks ago. Her team won like 110-26. If you're a coach of any legitimacy, how could that kid be even on the court or even take a shot? Well, just like Isola was saying, I shocked that Spoelstra, Riley, he's not on the court. He didn't love it, but Spoelstra's there. That kind of just really turned me off. How that was handled down the stretch.
It was a little surprising, Stephen, if you think about it. Yeah. God forbid that Bam got hurt. I mean, they're going to be a playoff team. They are a playoff team. What if he got hurt by keeping him in garbage time? What if he got hurt? Then you'd be saying, oh, that's a fireable offense. So it is kind of odd because Spoelstra is considered the best coach in the league. I think he was voted one of the top 15 coaches of all time in the NBA. And he does do the right thing, and they preach doing the right thing and playing the game the right way. Now, I would love to inject some truth serum into Pat Riley. I mean, this is a guy, he had LeBron James on his team. And LeBron James' big thing on the team playing, he loved to eat chocolate chip cookies. That was his vice. And Pat Riley said this isn't healthy and took the cookies off the plane. Infuriated LeBron. Infuriated him. But Pat Riley is doing things the way he thinks they should be done. And for the health of the players, he took the favorite thing of the best player on the team away. So I don't think that Pat Riley co-signed what went on yesterday. Let's go to Al and Patterson. Al.
Hey, what's going on, Mike?
Hey,
real
Al.
Quick, I got 2 things.
Okay.
How's it going, Mike? I got 2 things real quick. First one was in regards to your guest that you just had speaking when he spoke on San Antonio Spurs, David Robinson and Tim Duncan. You got to really be careful what you say because especially over the radio, people are going to think they're factual, he is dead wrong. San Antonio did not tank to get, David Robinson. They were a horrible team that was actually on the fringe of going bankrupt and not even they were looking to move San Antonio out of Spurs out of San Antonio. So he actually saved that franchise. They were garbage. And Tim Duncan, they were lucky. They already had a bad team, and David Robinson got hurt, if everyone remembers, and that's how they ended up getting Tim Duncan.
Yeah, but David Robinson got hurt, and they did not try to improve. They said, okay, this is our opportunity to get a good draft pick.
No. But that year he was hurt.
I know.
Yeah,
but they didn't try to improve, is what I'm saying.
Michael, you lose a top 10 player in the NBA. You can't. There's nothing you can do to get that back. There's no way around it. That's like saying when Michael Jordan got hurt. If you remember, well, it's not. I'm not going to say that. That's a big difference. I'm not going to use that analogy because Chicago was really bad with Michael Jordan either way. The second point I wanted to make was this Bam Adebayo thing. I totally agree with you guys. I feel as though why didn't they just play defense? How about that?
Well, they did. They were triple teaming him. They triple teamed him.
No.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, well, then it's the team's fault. It's not Bam Adebayo's fault. You can't blame take him out of the game. Play better D.
But Al, they did. They triple teamed him, and he was taking 3-point shots with 3 guys on him. So that's not within the flow of the game. That's not the natural flow of the game. And since you're going to beat the Wizards anyway, why are you keeping in one of your best players where he could get hurt? It's not. It wasn't for the record. It was to beat Kobe. Kobe is second place, not first place. First place is Wilt. I think you feel differently if they kept him in there. You know, he's at 94 points, 95 points. You're playing for second place. So they did play defense, and they got called for fouls, and they sent them to the foul line 43 times. Listen, I don't have as much of a problem with it as Frankie did. I don't. But I don't think it comes off as classy. I don't think it's the right way to do it. It was certainly not within the flow of the game by any stretch of the imagination. It wasn't close to in the flow of the game. Sean and Queens. Sean. Hey, Sean.
Hey, Mike. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I just have a quick question, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
How long you been watching college basketball?
Oh, a long time.
Long time. So when you talking about Pearl and all those New York guys that went to Syracuse, that was that time when Syracuse was in the Big East.
Right.
Jim Boeheim hasn't bought when Jim Boeheim was there, he hasn't bought a big recruit from the New York area since Carmelo left. So yes, the cry was, and I'm a big Syracuse guy. I'm a New York guy. I played ball with Pearl back in the days with Rod Strickland. I'm telling you from being New York kids in the playground. After there was debacle that Jim Boeheim didn't have that connect with the kids in New York, we started to go other places. Jim Boeheim.
Sean, what I'm saying, and you follow basketball and you played it, they were always competitive. Right. These 3 years with Autry have not been competitive.
No, they was They was competitive within the conference. He couldn't get out into the NCAA tournament because you got to remember, basketball has evolved. There's no one playing zone no more, so the zone was getting constantly beat by better coaching.
But you can't say that they weren't they weren't a better team with Jim Boeheim than with Adrian Autry. I mean, when Boeheim had his sons playing for them, they were a competitive team. I'm not saying they were going to win an NCAA tournament game or a championship, but they were competitive. They're not competitive anymore. They don't belong in the ACC.
No, but listen to me for a second, Mike. It wasn't that they was competitive with Adrian Autry. You got to understand the NIL stuff is evolving. It's changing college basketball, and the kids that Syracuse wants to get, they're going to the Kentuckys, the Alabamas, the Tennessees, the Dukes, the North Carolinas. They're going to these places. No one's coming home to play. And Rick had to realize the same thing as St. John. He has to go out and fill the portal. And fill the team with portals. No one in New York
But Sean, that's why Boeheim got out too. All those coaches got out. The guy in North Carolina got out. Tony Bennett got out. Jay Wright got out. Jim Boeheim got out. They don't want to deal with this nonsense. Guys transferring every single year. Pitino seems like he has an appetite for it. Good for him, and it's been very successful. And maybe Syracuse doesn't have the allotment, the money, the NIL money to pay the players as much as the other schools that you just mentioned. They don't have a Mike Rapoli. Mike Rapoli funds that St. John's team. Can bring in anybody they want. That's why they're the darling of the transfers of the NIL. They can give them money because Mike Rapoli is a multi-billionaire, and he's a St. John's benefactor. Every school would pray for a Mike Rapoli. Pitino has him. That's how he gets the players. I mean, I don't know what we're arguing about, though. You're kind of saying he didn't get New York kids anymore. I said you fired Adrian Autry. They've been a non-factor for the 3 years Adrian Autry's there. And the bottom line is, every single year, Jim Boeheim put a representative team on the court, and every year we heard about he wasn't a good coach. You mentioned they don't play zones anymore. You know, bottom line is he won a championship with Carmelo. They always seemed like they were in the NCAA tournament. All the guy got was grief that he was a hack coach. He wasn't a hack coach. Was he the greatest coach in the world? Probably not. But he's good enough to get people to come to Syracuse and play good basketball. Be interesting to see who they bring in now after Adrian Autry. I think Adrian Autry got brought into a really tough situation. Let's see if they bring McNamara back. It's got to be somebody with Syracuse roots that understands Syracuse and what it means to win there. It's got to be that. All right, we're going to have Mike Lupica on in just a moment. A lot of stuff to talk to him about. Wednesday, 2:30, that's what we do right here on the K Show, ESPN New York.
The NBA moves fast, and the stars move faster. With DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, you're never a step behind. DraftKings keeps pace with every play, offering industry-leading live betting, dynamic odds that shift as the game unfolds, and more open markets more often. They're live when others aren't, so you're always in the game when it matters most. Get in on the action with live player props as the most exciting performances unfold in real time. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WHSQ. That's code WHSQ. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problems gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply.
Hi, this is Don LaGreca. I'm big on having the right game plan on the ice and at home, which is why I use Viking Pest Control myself as the pest control provider and proud partner of the New Jersey Devils. Viking has been protecting homes for over 45 years with expert pest control service and solutions tailored just for you. From ants and cockroaches to rodents, stinging insects, and backyard mosquitoes, Viking keeps pests out of your house and out of the play. Bundle pest control with mosquito services and save big. One call, one company, total peace of mind. Visit VikingPest.com. Viking Pest Control, protecting your home inside and out.
Attention New York Verizon mobile customers. Score a massive win with award-winning Fios Home Internet for an incredible $20 a month guaranteed for 3 years. Switch today for savings you can count on. Call 1-800-VERIZON now. For new Fios customers with AutoPay, mobile and home discount enrollment required. 3-year price guarantee applies to the Fios-based monthly rate only. Additional terms apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. That's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
ZipRecruiter. Hey Yankees fans, gather a group of 10 or more and take advantage of our 2026 Yankees group ticket specials. Whether you're getting together with family and friends, organizing a fundraiser, or entertaining clients, your group will love bonding over the Bronx Bombers. Start planning your 2026 group outings today. Log on to Yankees.com/groups. Call 212-YANKEES or email us at groups@Yankees.com. That's 2026 group tickets. Call 212-YANKEES or visit Yankees.com/groups today.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-568-2790. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-568-2790 or biglou.com.
All right, my guy Kofi, who's kind of like my de facto off-site producer, he looked it up, and he said that when Wilt got the 100-point game, both the Knicks and the Philadelphia Warriors were fouling intentionally in the fourth quarter. The Knicks to prevent Wilt from getting the ball. The Warriors responded that doing it also so Wilt could get more possession. So is that the perfect, record? Everybody's jumping on Adebayo. It's hard to get that many points without something a little fishy going on and getting it within the flow of the game. Let's bring in our good friend, Mike Lupica, best-selling novelist, Hall of Fame columnist for the New York Daily News, MLB Network, MLB.com. He writes for them, and now he's on with us every Wednesday at 2:30. Hi, Mike. How you doing?
Good afternoon, Michael. How are you today? Got a bit of a bad throat, but I will try to soldier on.
Now, Mike, are you losing your voice because you were celebrating so hard when the Jets got Geno Smith?
No, but here's what I'm telling myself, Michael, and it may be too soon, but God, if Lindsey Vaughn can ski on a torn knee, I can do this show with a bad throat, right? Don't you think?
I hope you end up better than Lindsey did.
Yeah, if I break my leg today, yeah, right? No. All right, here's the thing about Geno, okay? And I really believe that he kind of fits the profile of what they need. I wrote a column the other day. We keep looking for the next Namath. Michael, we're not looking for the next Namath. We want the next Ryan Fitzpatrick, who I believe was on his sixth team when he got to New York and was the quarterback on the last Jets team worth a damn. He was 33 years old, and, a lot of people thought this was his last chance. And he threw 31 touchdown passes, and they were in play to make the playoffs until the last Sunday of the regular season. So Geno vaguely fits that profile. But, Mike, here's the thing. They have to bring in somebody else. They can't just hand this guy this job.
Right.
I think they got to find another veteran to make him compete. I saw he gave some interview, I think, to Josina Anderson, in which he said he's coming back with a chip on his shoulder to prove the doubters wrong. Yeah, Geno, because you never gave us any reason to doubt you your first time around in New York. Yeah, well, where did we ever get that idea? So I listen, might this work? Yes. But here's my overriding thing with the Jets, Michael. They have to try to win some games next year. This idea that they can just tank their way to Arch Manning, that fever dream we're going to get. No, they owe their fans a representative product next year. Now, I don't know if that's 6 wins or 7 wins or 8 wins or whatever it is. They have to put a team on the field because, my God, these fans are owed that.
And also, Mike, I think they're in the most unenviable situation because if they do tank and they have another 3-win season to get that quarterback, the coach is gone. So you're at cross purposes. I mean, we had Dan Orlovsky on. He said, you just want the number 1 pick next year and have Geno Smith be, the bridge. No. As you said, people are paying to go see these games.
This is one of those times, Michael, when people do act as if the fans don't matter. Okay, right. That everything else, the plan matters, the long range plan matters, the draft matters, free agency matters. What the fans? What about the people who are still coming to that stadium to watch this team play football? No, they matter. They're the foundation of everything in sports. And guess what fans don't want to hear? It's a gap year. What? I'm sorry. They feel, Jets fans feel like they're in a gap decade, Michael.
It's unbelievable. I think it's been 10 years since they actually had a 500 record. That's a bad streak.
You think? No, again, Ryan Fitzpatrick was the last quarterback they had on a team worth a damn. They were 10-5 going into Buffalo. They lost to Rex on the last Sunday of the season, or they would have made the playoffs.
Yep.
And so, I'm not saying that Geno Smith can be that guy, okay? Because Fitz had some years, and he had better years than Geno Smith has had. They needed a veteran. They needed somebody who Frank Reich liked, okay? But I'd still like to see him go after somebody like Carson Wentz. And I'm not saying he's a savior either. But you can't just hand this job to Geno Smith.
Oh, well, let's see what they do. I mean, if they bring in Carson Wentz as a backup, they'll battle. But it doesn't look like it's going to be a robust year for the Jets. Let's move on to the thing that I started the show with, Mike. And that's how embarrassing this miscommunication was with Mark DeRosa, who said we've punched our ticket, and then said he misspoke. Listen, I like Mark DeRosa, but I'm not quite believing him, Mike.
Mike, I didn't hear the start of the show, okay? And I like Mark DeRosa too, and I think he's done a good job, and I think these guys like playing for him. Here's what he should have said. I did not know the rules. He did not know the rules. Because, Mike, here's my question. If he only misspoke, why did he bench all those guys?
Right.
If he didn't think they had already punched their ticket into knockout round, why did he bench Bregman and Raleigh and Brian Buxton and whatever other guys? Maybe nobody was watching television associated with his team in the morning, but how could that have gone on all day? And nobody said, no, Mark, we really need to win this game so that our destiny remains in our own hands. And before you know it, they're down 8-0, and now they are where they are. And now there's this crazy, I'm sure you've talked about it, this crazy tiebreaker. If Mexico wins, but they got to score 4 or fewer runs, then we still get to advance? Wait, what?
Yeah,
no,
you know what I think happened, Mike? I think that somebody told him that I don't think he's trying to figure out these convoluted rules. I think somebody told him, and he ran with it, and he got bad information, and he didn't check it twice or whatever the case may be. But then David Cohn, I said this at the beginning of the show, Mike, and you've dealt with David. He always says this. He goes, when you mess up, just admit it. It's the easiest thing, and people will let you go. But then to say I misspoke, and then MLB Network takes that clip off the air until there's an outrage, and then they put it back, it's just a bad look. It really is.
Mike, you're a play-by-play guy, okay? And you know the rules of baseball. I mean, very rarely am I watching a Yankee game and you say, "Oh, I didn't know that rule." No, you have to. Mike, one of the geniuses of our pal Mike Breen is, Mike, you know this. He knows the record book from front to back and back to front. And I'm not saying this is the crime of the century, and I know that this is an exhibition. But DeRosa has to know what his team's circumstances are before they play what might be their last game of this tournament. And then to go out and say, I misspoke. No, you didn't. Mike, how many times have you heard me say over the years, or how many times have you seen me write this over the years? My favorite kind of sports apology is this. If I offended anybody, I'd like to apologize. And I'm always looking at the TV going, no, you did offend us. That's why you're apologizing.
Right. It's unbelievable. People don't know how to get messes that they create. They don't know how to get out of it. Your thoughts on the Adebayo 83?
You know what? I've heard and read and listened to everybody. I'm so glad you pointed out the stuff about the Knicks and Wilt's 100-point game and how everybody was fouling at the end. And, and I think even the refs were giving Adebayo a good whistle at the end. Michael, it's hard to score 83 points in a basketball game. And you got to give the guy his props. Do I think he belongs on the Mount Rushmore of high-scoring games with Wilt and Kobe? No, I kind of don't. I like him as a player a lot. But you know what? The rush to immediately diminish something that had everybody who cares about sports talking about this last night. I mean, everybody, as soon as you found out he had, 43 or whatever he had at the half, went looking for this game. No, this was a cool thing. This was a cool thing. And I wish he had made the last couple of points with a basket. He didn't. He made them at the line. And, yeah, he took a lot of shots, and they were fouling, and the other team was fouling, and all that stuff, okay? It's hard to score 83 points in a basketball game because guess what? Nobody had scored more than that since Wilt.
I would be outraged if it was the record. It's second place. What are people going freaky about? It's second place.
I think because he passed. I think it's kind of because he passed Kobe. And I will say this: the one thing that diminished it for me was playing against the Wizards. Mike, if you watched any of the highlights today, didn't you feel like you were watching defense that was comparable to an NBA All-Star game?
Yeah.
I mean, what an embarrassing group that is. I mean, he just ran by them all night long. They acted as invested in him getting to 83 as his own team did.
Yeah, and again, it's too lengthy to even get into at this point, but it leads to the whole tanking thing. You're playing a team that doesn't want to win. It's an embarrassment for the NBA. It's an embarrassment, Mike.
I got a question for you. Let's switch sports for a second, okay? Mm-hmm. Did the Baltimore Ravens really not like what they saw in Max Crosby's physical, or did they think, if we get the other guy and don't have to give up 2 number ones, how much worse off are we? Did they pull a fast one on the poor Las Vegas Raiders?
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, the guy had surgery in January. Well, what did they think the physical was going to go like? It's a bad look. You wonder if the NFL is going to step in.
Michael, right? I mean, what possible surprise could there have been for the Ravens and their doctors when they knew going in that he had just gotten off, wait for it, crutches a week ago?
Yeah, it's a bad look. And you're right. This way they saved their 2 first-round draft picks. They just spent money. And is there that much of a difference between Crosby and Hendrickson?
No, and they get Hendrickson, and he's for a good price at a good age. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying he's Max Crosby because he's not. Okay, because the only pass rusher better than Crosby is Myles Garrett. But what I'm saying is, and they broke no rules here. It's like when we always rail about the Dodgers and deferred money. Yeah, are they pulling a fast one? They are, but under the current rules, they didn't break any rules. The Ravens did not break any rules, but Mike, we always talk in sports about the spirit of the law and the letter of the law. The Ravens broke the spirit of the law.
And that's why the whole legal tampering period is a joke because, Vegas traded him to Baltimore thinking that it was going to go through. They spent their money on other things. Now they can't even absorb the money back.
No, Mike, it's very hard for the Raiders in their current state to get the moral high ground here, but right. They sort of have it in this case,
Yeah, I feel so bad for Tom Brady. Nothing goes right for him.
It's going to be very interesting. Whenever I see the punditing, it's a word, by the way, punditing.
I love it.
When I see them punditing about how lucky the Raiders are to have Tom Brady as part of the decision-making process, what evidence is there of that so far?
And Mike, most great players are not great GMs. They're just not. They're not great talent evaluators. Look at LeBron. He's not.
I don't even think. I mean, listen, I love Derek Jeter. I love covering him. I love him as a guy. The Marlins were not a bright spot on his resume, right?
Right. It's hard because you look at things differently. You don't look at it teams and building. You want certain players that just don't fit the whole. Listen, it's ridiculous, and there's too many instances of players fumbling that job. It just is.
Mike, Phil Jackson is indisputably one of the greatest basketball coaches of all time.
And a hack
how did
as a
he
president.
do as an executive?
Right.
Right.
Yep.
Like a total tomato can as a president. And even though the Broncos won a Super Bowl under Elway, I don't think that was a glittering moment in his football resume either. It's a very difficult transition to make, and there are guys who have made it. Jerry West is a shining. Huh?
Ozzie Newsome and Jerry West. Yep.
I mean, Jerry West was a great player, and he went on to be one of the great executives of all time. But that is extremely rare.
Mike, save your voice. We'll talk to you next Wednesday.
Okay, pal. Bye-bye.
All right. That's Mike Lupica. We'll come back with some phone calls, other things I want to hit on as well. Right now, new FanDuel customers can get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days if your bet loses. Here's how it works. Place a tournament bet using the token, and if it doesn't win, you'll get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. That's 10 chances to play all tourney long, from game props and money lines to spreads, totals, futures, and more. You can even mix things up with same-game parlays for a shot at a bigger payout. However you want to fill out your bracket, FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the action day after day. So visit FanDuel.com/local to sign up today. FanDuel, it's time to dance. 21 plus, physically present in New York, must apply select tokens each day. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Tokens are received in increments of one per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you can put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Monkey Sports, built by players for players, is your one-stop shop for hockey, baseball, lacrosse, and more. Find top-name equipment and expert in-store services like sharpening, break-ins, and relacing. Shop in-store at Monkey Sports in Farmingdale or Woodbridge, or online for all the top brands. Whatever your sports, Monkey Sports gets you game ready fast. Monkey Sports, where athletes shop.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Rings End is your locally owned Benjamin Moore retailer. They're your store for quality with a full line of brilliant and durable Benjamin Moore paints. They're your store for inspiration with thousands of colors and a variety of sheens. And Rings End is your store for expertise with one-on-one advice for contractors and homeowners. Insist on Benjamin Moore paint from Rings End because the gorgeous color you love can't be matched in another brand of paint.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
On eBay, every find has a story. Like if you're looking for a vintage band tee, not just any tee, the band tee. You wore it everywhere until your best friend stole it. Now you're on eBay. And there it is. Same tee from the same tour. The things you love have a way of finding their way back to you, especially on eBay. Where else can you find that mint trading card you searched everywhere for, or your first car, the one you wish you never sold? It has to be eBay. Shop eBay for millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Don Hahn and Rosenberg is live from the Big East Tournament presented by Schweppes, Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea, and Samuel Adams. Join THR broadcasting live from the Irish Exit inside Moynihan Train Hall for a Big East extravaganza. Big East legends Charles Smith and Walter Berry will join us on site as we break down the action and relive the glory days. All courtesy of Schweppes. Stop by beginning at 3 p.m. Enter to win great prizes and make the Irish Exit your headquarters when the Big East takes center stage. Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Teas available at Bourbon and Branch and Taylor Pub. Must be 21 or older to purchase. Please drink responsibly.
ESPN New York is taking over Calandra's Italian Village. That's in Caldwell, New Jersey on Wednesday, March 18th. Join Don Hahn and Rosenberg live starting at 3 p.m. with a special happy hour that you don't want to miss. Come hang out, talk sports, and get ready for a huge night on the ice. Then stick around for the Rangers and Devils watch party with a 7 p.m. puck drop. Big screens, great food, unbeatable atmosphere, and the best fans in hockey all under one roof. Reservations are recommended. So to book your table, call 973-226-8889. See Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live at Calandra's Italian Village in Caldwell, New Jersey. It's Wednesday, March 18th, starting at 3 p.m. Daniel Jones has lived a charmed life when it comes to money. Now, he's had a lot of injuries, and that might have derailed his ascension to be a top-flight quarterback, but he re-signed with the Colts, right? And he got $88 million for 2 years. The first year guaranteed $50 million. Now, he's coming back from an Achilles injury. The second year is $37.5 million. But it can get back to 50 if he plays the games. This is the second year. With the Giants, he made $122.8 million. So you throw this $100 million on top of it. Let's assume that he will play all the games in the second year. And in his NFL career, which is, to be kind, not been distinguished, he would have banked $222.8 million. Right now, with his $50 million next year, he's the 12th highest paid quarterback in the game. Now, very quickly, to give you a little bit more on the Celtics-Spurs game, the NBA has really been hurt by teams not playing their best players and, networks broadcasting games and not getting the stars. They finally get a game yesterday on NBC where you got Wemby, you got Jason Tatum, who's in the middle of an unbelievable storybook comeback, and you got one of the MVP favorites, Jaylen Brown. And the official throws out Jaylen Brown. A nationally televised game on over-the-air NBC. They throw out Jaylen Brown. Now, I'm not one of these people that say, well, you can't throw out stars. If they do something that's unconscionable, I guess you can. But an NBA ref has to learn how to turn away. In a game like this, a high-profile game, which the NBA does not give you during the regular season. They just don't. You're going to throw out an MVP candidate in the middle of the game? And then you see how Jaylen Brown reacted after he was tossed. He was furious. And why shouldn't he be? This is a great player, and he didn't like a call. He probably said something. You look at Luka Doncic. All he does is complain on every single call. How often do you see him thrown out of a game? And Jaylen Brown in a high-profile game, which could be an NBA Finals preview, you throw him out of a nationally televised game. That referee, I'm sorry, has to be called on the carpet by the NBA and go, what are you doing? I mean, you have to realize the situation we're in. You have to realize what we've been battling. You got to realize what's right and what's wrong. This is a dumb thing to do for the good of the sport. It's just a dumb thing to do. and they did it. It's really, really hard to believe. Hard to believe. One more thing about the Adebayo 83 that everybody's going nuts about. Digging deeper into Wilt's 100. Do you know that the Knicks were running a weave to keep the ball away from Philadelphia so that Wilt wouldn't get 100? And Philadelphia, which was up by 20, was intentionally fouling to get Wilt the ball back. So when we look at Wilt's 100, we can't put it on a pedestal where it's beyond reproach. It seems like there's some reproach there. You see the NFL? I'm telling you, in our lifetime, there'll be NFL games every single game of the week because the NFL is now selling a game for Thanksgiving Eve. So you have the 3 games on Thanksgiving, and they're selling a game, probably to a streamer, on Thanksgiving Eve, so the Wednesday night. And they're saying that what they'll do is the teams that play in the Wednesday Eve, the Thanksgiving Eve game, will be teams that were coming off a bye. We've had games on Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Thursday, Monday. So now we're broaching Wednesday. So all that leaves is Tuesday. And if you think that the NFL is going to leave money on the table because guys might get hurt, you haven't studied the NFL much. Hey, get ready for Pickleball Madness Friday, March 20th. ESPN New York is taking over Pickleball Heaven in Medford, New York. Catch a live broadcast of DiPietro and Rothenberg starting at 6 a.m. Then stick around for our social ladder pickleball tournament. They'll crown the champions, then roll right into a college hoops watch party to cap off the day. Sign up now on the ESPN New York app. Spots are limited. Pickleball Madness brought to you by Pickleball Heaven, the new standard of indoor pickleball. Knicks are back on the court tonight. You can hear the game right here on 880 ESPN. And I think they'll get back on the winning side against Utah, which is dreadful on purpose. And so the Knicks could put away this 2-game losing streak. We'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll be back again tomorrow at 1. Don Hahn and Rosenberg coming up in just a moment. Get their take on everything that's happening as well. In the words of Billy Joel, life is a series of hellos and goodbyes. I'm afraid it's time for goodbye again. See everybody. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you tomorrow at 1.
New York Knicks fans, here's a total slam dunk. For a limited time, get Verizon Fios and a line of mobile for just $64.99 a month. Get Fios 300 megabit per second for $20 a month. And unlimited welcome for $45 a month plus taxes and fees when you bring your own phone. Visit a Verizon store today to learn more.